Welcome into another episode of the Armchair Titans podcast. The boys are here, myself, Austin Nelson, with Brett Batchelor, Noah McKay, and Trey Watkins. Give us a follow at Armchair Titan Up. That is where you can find all the latest Titans news and articles and whatnot. But thank you again for listening to the podcast. We appreciate it more than you guys know. I love that you guys keep listening and whatnot. So what's going on, fellas? How we doing?
Doing good, just chilling. Glad we're done with
man.
now. Ready to move into minicamp stuff.
Yeah. Got to turn up. The draft's over. We've been looking for this as soon as the season ended, we're like, all right, draft, let's go. Let's move on to next season. And then the draft's over now. So it's just time to get these guys rolling into camp and ready for the season to start. I mean, let's just stop for a minute and just have a round of applause for the Titans draft. I mean, Jon Robinson out here making moves for us guys. And what a couple 3 days he had.
Seriously.
If you would have told me before the draft, hey, the Titans only have 4 picks, I'll be like, shit.
Yep.
What are we gonna do this season? Like, I mean, 4 picks. Like, why we have 4 picks? But then if you tell me who we got, I would have been like, why? No, he didn't. There's no way possible he got those 4 guys. Are you serious? So let's just start off with number 1. So Thursday night, we're all in our homes, wherever you're at, watching the draft. And you see just how it's shaking up. The quarterbacks go, Saquon goes. You see some tackles go here and there, and you start seeing names drop. And you're like, look, the Titans are falling into a spot right now. Some things are going to happen for us. And so it gets to pick 21, and I forget who was in front of the Ravens then.
Detroit.
So they take a guard or tackle, I believe.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you see trade. And the Titans – logo pops up on the screen, and you're like, what is going on? Here it is. This is Harold Landry. They're going to get Harold Landry. This is all we've been talking about. Harold Landry's the guy. Or for Trey Watkins, it was Josh Sweat. And real quick, if for those who don't know, what round did Josh Sweat go in, Trey?
Bro.
What happened, bro?
Look. All right. Can I want to say
real quick, hurry up.
So many people, look, there were many people saying they were really surprised he went that low. And look, I admit he's a project, but I mean, gosh, the potential is just too much.
For those of y'all who don't know what round he went in, it was the 4th round.
4th round. The Eagles got a stud, though. I mean, look, I feel like the Eagles' defensive line, they just keep getting better and better and better. So they got to steal with Josh Sweat.
He can learn, he can sit back and get his reps in. I think that's the best place for him to.
So the Titans went ahead and took the guy I thought it would be all along in Rashaan Evans. Okay.
Same.
A inside linebacker. So Noah and I, we called in the last podcast. If you guys back and listen, the last couple minutes we said it with Justin. Rashaan Evans was my guy. And I just thought that for many, many months now. I knew the Titans needed a edge rusher. We talked about Rakpo and Morgan getting up in age, but it just made sense now with Avery gone that you needed a linebacker and somebody to fill that hole. And not even just a linebacker, but somebody who can be that linebacker for years to come, play all 4 downs if you need him to, go side to side, edge of the field, and even a guy as well, guys. We know Rashaan Evans can rush. He can blitz. So they kind of got a steal in Rashaan Evans. And, I mean, I was ecstatic.
Yep.
Ecstatic to see him, 1, still on the board, and 2, falling to the Titans' lap. I mean, Jon Robinson traded up 3 picks to get him and only had to give up a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah.
So you still have all your ammunition for next season in the draft. I mean, it was a phenomenal job of what he did.
I think that's one of the biggest things, too, is the fact that a lot of us like Rashaan Evans a lot. And Noah and Austin, y'all called it. And then a couple months ago, I had written an article about watching out for Rashaan Evans at 25. And I didn't know, honestly, when it got closer to the draft, I figured that we might trade back instead of trading up only because people didn't like the fact that we only had 6 picks. But we only with 4, and we can talk about that again in a minute. But the fact that we picked up Rashaan Evans, who is going to be a day 1 starter, we can put that down. Rashaan Evans will be a day 1 starter, and to put him in he's just such a Jon Robinson guy. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and no disrespect to Avery Williamson, but I feel like it's an instant upgrade over Avery Williamson.
Avery Williamson can't cover, of course.
He can't. We talked about it a couple of podcasts ago.
Man, throw the slam you want. I want to hear it.
We would talk about watching a running back come out of the backfield wide open, untouched, and it was like, well, who missed it? Yeah, Avery Williamson. So prayers up that Rashaan Evans is not like that and that he can at least cover a running back and stay on his assignment. But you're instantly getting a guy who can obviously cover, and they can definitely get to the quarterback.
And
that's an instant upgrade at the inside linebacker.
Not even a running back, Noah, a tight end.
That's
how many times do we see Jack Doyle?
Oh my God,
dude! Oh my God!
Or a CJ Fedorowicz,
Mercedes Lewis before he retired.
I mean, these guys are like, as soon as you saw you were playing the Titans in fantasy, you were like, "Yep, I'm gonna put this guy in there, tight end here, tight end here."
It wasn't even the fact that you would see Avery with good coverage or be with like 10 yards in the area. Avery would always turn his back when his guy was already 15 yards down the field to go catch up to him. So it didn't even matter in the first place.
It was so bad.
But guys, he's worth $4 million a year.
Yeah, seriously. He tweeted. I mean, don't get me wrong. I liked Avery for the most part. It was just the coverage that really made me upset.
Which is
he was a good locker room leader as well. I mean, he was great in the locker room. Everybody loved him. There was nothing wrong with Avery Williamson at all.
But as a guy, there's nothing wrong with him. But as a football player, we could upgrade, and the Titans did that.
And that's exactly what they did with the guy who, in my opinion, will be here for a long time.
And shout out, he's gonna make the number look better on the field too.
Absolutely. I mean, these new jerseys are going to make everybody look better.
Yeah.
True.
Look good, play good. We all know that motto. All right, so let's fast forward to Friday, okay? So Friday, we knew we picked at 57, I believe. Is that right? 57, okay?
Yes.
And this is when it got fun. So the Browns did their thing with the first 2 out of 3 picks, messed it up as always. They got Nick Chubb. Sure, yeah.
No, they didn't.
Running back.
Oh wait, yeah. My bad. Other Chubb.
Yeah, they got
Other Chubb. I was like, wait a second, Bradley. Yeah, it's my bad. Go
ahead. And so things fell again for the Titans. You sort of seen the name that we thought we'd get in the first round, and Harold Landry kept dropping. And so it finally got to 41, and you see a trade with the Raiders. Here comes the Titans, and you're thinking,
what is going on?
What is he doing now? Like, who is he getting now? And then you thought, like, wait a minute. Harold Landry. He's not off the board yet. And in my mind, guys, I knew it was him. Without a doubt, I had it ready up to tweet. I was ready to go from the account. And the Titans select Arnold Landry. Thank you, Vince Young, for that.
Oh, my God.
So Vince Young comes out and says it's Harold Landry, and that was a huge joke. I mean, it's almost like with these guys that the Titans get, one, they're always irrelevant by somebody. It's Marcus Mariota. It's Arnold Landry. Like, they can never get it right with the Titans. I don't understand it.
Who is it too? Is it Greg Gumbel that still can't pronounce it right?
Mariota.
Listen. I'm gonna be honest. I think throughout his entire career, people will still say it wrong.
They will.
It'll be Mariota. It's gonna be Mariota. It's gonna be everything.
I'm interested to see how people pronounce Xavier Su'a-Filo this season. That's gonna be a good one. I think I just pronounced it. I might be.
You might have been right.
I don't know.
So let's hit on Harold real quick. I mean, this is the guy that we all needed. Harold Landry was arguably the best pass rusher in the draft, if not is the best pass rusher in the draft. So John trades up 16 spots to get him and only gives up a 4th round pick.
Unreal.
Bizarre. I mean, I don't know why these teams are agreeing to do that. I don't even know who the Raiders got and the Ravens got with those picks, but I don't think they're anybody special.
No.
The thing is we all assumed that he was gone in the first round before 25.
Yeah.
And we got him at 41.
I thought he was going to be top 10 picks in the second round anyways, because the Colts had 2 back-to-back second-round picks. And
shout out to them for messing that up.
Man, taking a freaking FCS linebacker in the second round. Gosh, I love the Colts. Man.
That's the good thing about Jon Robinson, though, and they talked to him on Good Morning Football this morning, and we were tweeting that out and everything like that. And they love him on Good Morning Football. Jon Robinson, since he's been the GM, this is his third year now. 12 trades involving 37 picks. I mean, that's an astronomical amount of number of draft picks that you've sent back and forth, and he hasn't even started. I mean, he just started his 3rd year. That's so many draft picks and draft value that you can give away, and Jon Robinson loves the NFL draft.
Do you think as well, this is kind of me thinking out loud, but there was a lot of talk on Twitter that both times when he traded over the Patriots. Is there anything to that? And I don't know about the Harold Landry trade, but it was with the Luke Falk, I believe, when he took Luke Falk.
I heard that he was going after that. The Patriots wanted Harold Landry or Rashaan Evans
Or the Steelers.
It was Evans.
The Steelers did too.
Yeah,
Rashaan Evans. And the fact that it's the Steelers and the Patriots, and we all know that those are really the two teams that I think we all feel are ahead of the Titans in the AFC, clearly ahead. There's no doubt in my mind. Jon Robinson goes, no. You're not taking him. We're taking him because we have a cap to catch up.
My question though is, Jon Robinson said, "Hey, at the last second, I heard that the Steelers or the Patriots wanted him in front of us, and that's when I made the call to Baltimore." Who in the world is his source at the last second from these other teams to let him know?
Man, I don't care.
Whoever it is, he needs to
deliver the news, man.
give them a promotion, a pay grade.
Seriously.
Give them a little bonus because
Regardless.
it's going to help us.
Regardless, I mean, even if they weren't going to go up for him, it's a good decision to go up for him.
Yeah.
I mean, for these two players, you got to do it. If they're sitting on the board and you want them, go for them.
And they didn't give up anything. Like, you got the two guys you desperately wanted. I mean, it had to be – I don't know what Jon Robinson's draft board looked like, but those had to be 1 and 2. Top 5 guys that you needed, and you got both of them. It's
now,
remarkable.
If the Titans don't trade up from 25 to 22, and say Rashaan goes to the Steelers or the Patriots, do the Titans take Harold at 25, you think?
I would think – you would think so.
You would think so.
You would think so.
You have to, I think.
Yeah.
But it just blows my mind. Why did Landry fall to 41?
That makes no sense to me.
GMs don't know what they're doing. I mean, I get that there was a drop-off in production last year, but the skill set is unbelievable. The way he gets to the quarterback is just insane.
You would think at least the Colts, Ballard, I mean, their roster is horrible. You'd think that Ballard would want somebody of that stature on their defense.
Ballard is overrated. Ballard is everyone acts like he's made these great moves. I don't see it.
I agree with you, Noah.
I mean, people act like he's better than Jon Robinson.
He had a chance to make a massive improvement to the Colts, and I'm not saying you can't sit there and say these guys won't for them, but just on paper they had so many chances to take so many other better players and they didn't.
Yeah. Only good pick, like the only really good pick I like was Nelson, and that's
absolutely
a good pick for them. Other than that, was their draft just wasn't up to par.
Yeah,
they don't have weapons. I mean, they got T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y.'s it.
And on defense, they got T.Y. Hilton, and that's on defense.
On defense, too.
I mean, okay, yeah, but he's young, and they don't scare us in the division. They should. Nobody. The Texans, Titans, and Jaguars should not be concerned with the Colts at this point.
No, not even if Luck comes back.
Which you won't.
So they take Harold Landry, and then on day 3, the Titans only had 2 picks. That's really I think they had 3 picks to start the day, and then they traded up to get this guy, Dane Cruikshank. He is a safety out of Arizona. Had a decent season for them last season, but this is obviously a need that the Titans they needed a safety. And
thank God.
Sit here and harp on that if you want to. I think we all know Jonathan Cyprien is not the future. Okay, and now I don't even know if he'll if Dane plays well enough this season, he might get a spot taken. But I do think you'll see Dane a lot in a rotational thing. I think he's going to come in and play right away. I mean, these are those 3 guys I think will make a massive impact on the defense this season, in my opinion.
I think Dane's pretty much coming in. He's not the same player as Denoris Searcy, but I think he's going to play the same role, at least in the first part of the season.
Yeah, Dane, if he can at least track a running back out of the backfield or not blow every coverage that he's assigned, instant upgrade over Jonathan Cyprien. Without a doubt. I was very happy to see safety come off the board. I didn't care who the safety was. Just bring me a safety. There's been no hiding the fact that I thought Jonathan Cyprien is just not very good at free safety or strong safety, sorry. And watching his tape, just a tidbit, he has intercepted both Josh Rosen and Sam Darnold this season. So he can continue to do that in the NFL, and he'll be just fine. Yeah, when I watch him on tape, he looks a little bit like a stronger Kevin Byard. You know, he obviously doesn't have the ball hawking skills that Kevin Byard does, but he seems to always be around the ball, and he's a bigger body. So I think that those two could complement each other real well. I hope he takes Cyprien's spot because I don't think it should be that hard to do, but I really hope he takes Cyprien's spot.
All right, and then with the last pick, so they traded up to get Dane, which was surprising. I don't really remember who was on the board at the time, but when you just hear Dane Cruikshank, you're like, "Oh, I mean, it's a fair thing to say because we don't watch Pac-12 football all the time, and when they play, Arizona plays, it's usually at 9, 10 o'clock at night, and we're never watching. So, but I'm with you guys. I think it's an upgrade for sure. He'll come in here and he'll earn his spot, and he'll be here for years. And I don't have a problem with that at all. This last pick was one I was very, very happy with. So at the time when the Titans were on the clock in the 6th round, am I right? 7th round?
Six.
Okay, all right. I thought so. I was like, look, here it is, Richie James. Richie James is coming home. It's Richie James. Yes, Richie is the pick. And then I see Luke Falk, quarterback out of Washington State. And I'm like, you know what? I had been harping that the Titans needed a backup quarterback after Gabbert. It wasn't going to be Taney. It wasn't going to be Ferguson. So when I picked him, I was like, this is a hell of a pick. How did he last to the 6th round?
Seriously.
Because if you go back and look, there was quarterbacks over him that should not have been taken over him.
No.
At all. There's a guy from Toledo, I believe. It might have been after him. I'm not sure if it was before or after Falk. It was Danny Etling before him. I don't know. But there's quarterbacks before Falk that probably should not have been taken. So I was such a fan of this. And Luke Falk is in a perfect situation. I think even – this could be a thing where Gabbert's not even needed next season. 2 seasons from now. It could just be a one-and-done kind of deal. Thank you for your time. Luke Falk's the backup kind of thing.
I'm cool with that.
I'm cool with
that. I'm seriously cool with that. This is going to be – and I think they're talking about it on 3HL, maybe Midday 180. They're talking about the fact of this is not a, hey, we're just going to bring him in for a 2 seasons as the backup. This is we're going to breed Luke Falk as the Marcus Mariota backup into this offense to where if Marcus for some reason goes out, which I mean the way that things have looked these past couple of years, Marcus might be out another game. Knock on wood, yeah, seriously. But Luke Falk is the type of guy that they're going to breed into this offense to make him. I mean, maybe not a career backup, but probably a career backup for the Titans.
Yeah, we all know he's the Brady pick. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he's Tom Brady, but he is the Brady pick, 199. So, but he's instant upgrade over Matt Castle. I think he has more potential than Blaine Gabbert does. He at least has a chance, and he has the skill set that you want in a backup quarterback. He can make every throw you need him to make, and he can come into the offense and do what he needs to do to make sure that it's not a guaranteed loss. Because in recent years, whenever Mariota's out, it's a guaranteed loss, and at least now they're above that.
Right.
Yeah. Obviously, with him being at that, like you said, the Brady pick. Obviously, he's gonna, come in and replace Marcus Mariota for years to come. But obviously, but in all seriousness, like you said, he's gonna be breeded to be the career Marcus Mariota backup. Tyler Ferguson is nowhere gonna be near that backup job, and I hope he doesn't come near to seeing the field except in the preseason. Blaine Gabbert, not the long-term backup, so. Yeah, I when I look back at it, maybe I think it was a better pick than I, initially responded to. Well, yeah, but yeah, but honestly, yeah, I think it's a good pick in theory when you think about it.
So he led the Pac-12 with 30 touchdown passes last season. He was 12th in the country in yards.
Mike Leach.
He's the winner. He led the team with a 9-4 record. Yeah, and he had Mike Leach. Like, who doesn't love Mike Leach?
Seriously,
dude. He had more touchdowns than Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen.
And I think, I'm going to be honest, I could read this wrong, but if you guys help me out, I believe he leads the Pac-12 in history in yards.
I thought it was career touchdowns, too.
That might be it, too. I know
all I saw on Twitter when I was scrolling through, and it said Luke Falk has so many records that you'd have to click on the link to see what they were.
Right.
So he's obviously a fantastic college football player.
So 6th-round pick, come here. I'll take it. I'm all for it.
That's my biggest thing with this draft is the Titans came into this draft with six picks only, and people were like, Titans are trading out of the 1st round. They only have 6. They need 7. They need 8. They need to get this thing going. Jon Robinson said, no. I'm taking 4 picks, and that's all we need. But that shows me that going back to last season as well, Jon Robinson trusts the football roster that they have created. He didn't want the coaching staff. And only making 4 picks, I think, just it iterates and hits on the fact so hard that he likes the roster. He wanted his own coach.
This draft proves one thing. Jon Robinson hated Terry Robisky.
Yes.
There's no high profile.
Only person that did not like that liked him was Mike Mularkey.
It's clear that he trusts the wide receiver core.
Yep.
Because he's talked about it. Everyone forgets about Tajay Sharp, who is essentially just like a free agent signing, who was good his rookie year. He can build. I hope Tajay Sharp is what we hoped Eric Decker would be. That's what the role Tajay Sharp should play.
Just hold on to the ball and he'll be that role.
You have Corey Davis, who finally has a full offseason. You have Rashard Matthews, who's a solid wide receiver in this
underrated.
league. Very underrated. Your wide receiving core is fine. You have the quarterback. You have 2 stud running backs. You have the offensive line. Terry Robisky's a moron. That's what Jon Robinson said with this draft.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, like you said, he trusted the roster. And with him only having 6 picks and getting up to 4, he didn't just go out there and maybe reach for a prospect or 2. He got 4 great players that are really going to help this football team in some large capacity this upcoming season. So, I think it was, although he just had 4 picks, I think it was a really good draft for Jon Robinson.
Like you were talking about with the receiving core as well, everybody was saying, hey, you need another receiver. Rashard Matthews is going to be a free agent. Tajay Sharp might not be healthy. Corey Davis might not be the one. Jon Robinson said, no, I like the 4 that we have, and I like Campanero at receiver as well. Even though he's a special teams guy, I like him in that 5th spot. So Jon Robinson likes what he has, and there was no reason for him to go and trade back if he likes the roster this much.
Yeah, and I didn't mention it, but Taywan Taylor's there as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And on top of that, you got to think the Titans, they got some pretty good undrafted free agents as well. We haven't really hit on that at all. So let me look at that real quick. So there's a couple guys that stick out to me. One is Akram Wadley, the running back out of Iowa. And I think this dude has a real shot to make the team, a real shot to make the team. Now we know Calfani's gone, but Wadley, he's run for 1,000 yards in back-to-back season. He can catch balls out the backfield. I just think that he's got the tools to be a NFL running back. I don't know about a starter. He's not going to start for anybody, not anytime soon at least.
Not for us. That's
not for us. Yeah. So
God forbid.
Yeah. Hope. Let's pray that. Don't think about that. That'd be an awful thing. Another guy is Deontay Burnett. He's played with Sam Darnold for a couple years now at USC. Really good wide receiver, but he's had some problems with his hamstring. He tore it last season. But it was Darnold's favorite receiver. Caught 86 balls with 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns. So he has another chance to make the roster, especially in that one of his last spots. Beat out Campanero, possibly. Don't know if that'll actually happen. But him and then another guy that I like, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, is Damon Webb from Ohio State. And the reason I say that is because Terry Crooms is now the D-back coach for us, the Titans. And I still think Crooms is one of the best hires we had all season. We're going to love this dude. I cannot wait to see the D-backs just go to work on the field. And then Ethan Wolf, and I'll shut up after this. Ethan Wolf is that tight end from Tennessee.
Yep.
And if you knew anything about Tennessee football, 1, they suck. 2,
Butch Jones sucks.
Ethan Wolf was always would you guys agree, like a heartbeat of that offense? He always was. He was solid for Tennessee, always.
Win the offense.
Well, because Butch Jones didn't know how to coach anybody else, and Ethan Wolf could just go over the limit and just.
Yeah.
So those are 4 guys I like a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
real quick on Ethan Wolf, just reminds me as a tight end. Hey, Mel Kiper, I know you've never watched the Titans a day in your life, but they didn't need to take a tight end in the first round. We can get one as an undrafted free agent. Sorry, but continue on with that discussion.
We got Delaney and we got Jonnu, and Jonnu's good. So I mean, I didn't understand that at all, at all. And the only reason that Jonnu didn't play as well last year is because it's like everybody else that played for Tennessee College. Jonnu held back by bad coaching staff. That's. I think that's all it is.
Jonnu is the heir apparent.
I'm not saying that Jonnu.
Who played for in college?
FIU.
Miami.
Who watches FIU?
FIU, yeah. And and by the way, did y'all remember the story? You might not have ever seen it in college when there was that guy whose girlfriend was pregnant and she poured the boiling water on him and it burned his arm or whatever?
That was
Jonnu Smith, exactly. But I'm not by no means am I saying that Jonnu Smith is going to be all time or whatever, the next whatever. But when Jonnu got drafted last year and they started camp and just the way Delaney spoke about him and how good Delaney is, I think it just gave everybody a lot of hope about the potential that Jonnu has on the football field.
I think Ethan Wolf could definitely make the team. I think as a third tight end. practice squad player, one of those brink on the 53 roster.
If anything, I think he's going to be Supernal, to be honest.
Well, if he could just not jump off sides every time in the red zone, he'd be an upgrade from
Supernal. Oh my gosh.
I'll finish with this, and we'll talk about something else in a minute. It just didn't make any sense to me to even think about drafting a tight end with the first pick in the draft, our first draft pick.
Look,
a tight end.
All milk.
That's when you realize the Titans get no respect from the media.
He's never watched the Titans a day in his life. Unless we need a quarterback, he has no idea what we need.
It wasn't just Kuiper. It was multiple guys thinking that as well. That's just it blew my mind. You saw some guys from NFL Network say the same thing.
Mike Mayock.
And what you just said was very, very true, Brett. Delaney's sitting here talking about how much he sees in Jonnu Smith. And, I mean, I believe – when Delaney's gone, Johnny's going to come in right away and step up. If not, I mean, we saw Johnny make plays last season as a rookie in a horrible offense. So just imagine this season with another year under his belt, some more training, learning from Delaney. I'm not going to say this Titans offense is stacked, but it looks good on paper. Okay?
I'll say it. It's stacked.
This is a good offense. Yeah. It blows my mind to say that, but I'm excited for him, for Delaney, for Dion Lewis. I mean, for any of these guys, because they're going to have a chance to get the ball a lot. I mean, I think we'll see that exotic smash mouth stuff.
See ya.
You can't see my finger because you're listening, but it's out the door. I mean, it's gone. I mean, it's that was a malarkey thing. This is a now Mike Vrabel, Matt LaFleur offense, and it's going to be
Matt LaFleur.
That's what I like.
I want to see just a bunch of quick slants to Taywan, to Corey Davis. I mean,
dude, yeah. Do y'all remember in the playoffs how the Patriots just went that little quick outs to the running backs and little dump offs to Gronk and Gronk down the seam? That's the type of offense we need to see. Yes. That quick moving spread offense. Put it West Coast, move down the field. Get the quick passes off, and then we're going to pass it to Dion Lewis 3 times, then we're going to give it to the tank known as Derrick Henry.
That's what I like right there. And so speaking of that, that's what I want to see from the offense, and give those little out passes, those wheel routes is what use Dion Lewis almost kind of like you use Alvin Kamara on third downs, give him little wheel routes out of the backfield down the seam.
Yeah.
But so speaking of those little screens, so we talked about the offense right there. That's what I want to see on the defense. The defense last year was horrible on those little bubble screens out to the side and things like that. And in the Rams game, that's how Todd Gurley had that 80-yard reception, because they dumped it off to the side and took it way down the field. And that happened.
Todd Gurley had 850 yards in that game.
Oh my gosh, dude! And that happened every single game. So if the defense can step up on those bubble screens and play smart football, then I think that can go a long ways as well.
Look, if I'm consistently seeing Corey Davis getting freaking 70, 80-yard slants, it's taking it to the house, then I'm just fine, man.
Yeah, I want to see that what you said, Trey. Just a lot of more of the kind of the Steelers offense with AB. A lot of those quick slants. I mean, you would see the Steelers over and over again. Not even, I mean, just through. Well, if you watch the Steelers, you know what they do. It's just Big Ben and AB have this connection on the field.
Yeah.
Where it's just you don't have to call the play. Just do what you want to do. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to throw it where you need it. Quick slant, get past the defender.
It's like what the young Randy Moss said: take the ball deep and take the top off the defense.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Cash, homie.
Well, and the thing to watch with those quick slants, you have the screens with Dion Lewis, the slants. Taywan Taylor is going to be money in those types of plays because he's so fast. He is deceivingly quick. And you can get those slants going to him. I know Corey Davis can do them too, but you get the defense cheating down, those linebackers cheating down on him, and then you go over the top to Corey Davis on those jump balls. The potential.
By the way,
speaking can handle those too.
Yeah, speaking of that Randy Moss thing, off topic real quick. That remix that Stray Cash Homie remix that DJ Steve Porter made of Randy Moss was unreal. That's
fire.
It's so good. It's so good. I'll still listen to that. That thing is so good.
Honestly though, Taywan is going to be used in a lot of different ways. Anyways, would prefer. Like, I know they used him on jet sweeps, which was the only thing creative those two Robesky and Malarkey could come up with.
You didn't like Adoree being in there on offense on fourth down?
God.
I forgot about
God. You got to have it. Okay, I have a great idea, guys. We got to have the first down here. Biggest game of the year. You know what? Let's put the cornerback in. The rookie corner. They'll never see it coming.
Make that suck even worse that they just drew that up on the fly.
Yeah, he didn't even know what to do.
Any other play on probably the biggest game of the season. So I'll just throw our first round freaking just quarter out there, give them on a damn slant. It was so.
If there's children listening, we apologize.
I'm so sorry.
That's Trey. That's Trey. Find him on Twitter. You can correct there.
Look, we'll end with this real quick. So the Titans also added some veteran leadership today. They signed Kendrick Lewis, a safety from Baltimore, and then a outside linebacker who I think Vrabel knows a lot. Gemmell president. They'll both come in and compete. So the two guys that they signed as well. But all in all, guys, I mean, it's been a fun week for the Titans. Next up, we'll have a rookie minicamp that's coming up in next weekend. So be on the lookout for that. So the next time we finally get to see these guys, these four guys, come in and compete with the undrafted players. But
I mean, I just want to I know that this podcast this entire podcast, we've been so excited about what it could be for the Titans. And for the people that are listening, I don't think any of us by any means are saying that, look, the Titans are now are going to have the best offense, the best defense. Yeah. But so we do what we do. So we keep up with the players that the Titans pick up. So we notice that they're good players. But I think the excitement of fans in this come out because we know that the opportunity of what this could be for years down the road.
Yeah, there's huge unknowns with Mike Vrabel and Matt LaFleur and all these coaches. They've never coached. Matt LaFleur's never called plays in the NFL. But they're going to have every opportunity to succeed with the roster that Jon Robinson has given up. So we see the roster and we go, wow, there's all this potential. And we hope that the coaches are going to back it up. Now, we didn't have the same – I certainly didn't. When Malarkey came in, there wasn't this level of excitement. But now there's the potential and we see it coming together where all they have to do is actually execute what they've been given.
You can feel a buzz in and around Nissan Stadium and on Titans Twitter. People are excited. I think they're nervously excited because
cautiously optimistic.
Exactly, because they're excited about what it might be, but they're nervous because we haven't been good in a long time.
Yeah, because every time the Titans seem to have something good, something awful happens, and it sets the team back further.
They gotta go tighten it up.
So yeah, we'll just see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get more improvement, but just gotta see, man.
Tell him, Trey. Look. All right, so that's it with us. As always, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it more than y'all know. Subscribe on iTunes. Just keep watching and keep listening. We appreciate it. If you're not following us, I don't know why you're not. Give us a follow on Twitter at Armchair Tighten Up. It's a fun place to read our stuff.
Hey, we dropping personals.
What's that?
Our own at names.
Twitters, man.
I'll plug your name in, Trey. Go for it.
He wants to plug himself. There we go. Hey.
Look, man. Follow me at capital TJ_092. Damn. What's yours, man?
You gotta follow me at Noah McKay. See, I just went straight forward. It's at Noah McKay 116.
Look,
there's a bunch of Preds
at Brett Bachelor.
At Brett Bachelor.
We getting clout, man. All of us getting clout. We sharing.
I've had mine too. I think I'm going on my 8th year of Twitter anniversary, so I'm at Austin Nelson. That was like when iPod was big. So I went Austin Nelson with I.
I think Trey's on like his 5th different at name.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just been banned for trolling other people.
Yeah, I mean, plus like 3 of my accounts been suspended.
We're out of here for Armchair Titans podcast. We appreciate it, guys. Hey, tighten up.
Tighten up.
Tighten up. Man.